In this video, I am going to show you how to create and assemble the elements to make your own personalized shadow box. So you'll see that I am starting by sketching out 3 of the elements from my brainstorming sheet. I sketched them on watercolor paper because that is the medium of choice that I have gone with to add color to my project. Once I'm done sketching in pencil, I'm going over everything with a fine point Sharpie or a black pen. Sharpie is important to use if you plan on using watercolor so it will not bleed or run when you add a water paint element to it. As I said, I am using watercolor to add color to my sketched elements for now. I'm also going to go in with colored pencil in a little while to add extra depth and dimension to all of my objects. I have chosen to use the optional background to create a Harry Potter themed wallpaper in the back of the box, and you'll see me using the Gryffindor colors since this is a Harry specific themed shadow box. Then I'm going to go in and paint all of the rest of the shadow box in wood tones so that it looks like a wood shelf when complete. As I mentioned earlier, I am going in with Prismacolor colored pencils to finish off all of the details on my elements and in the background, especially with a little bit of a Sharpie pen outline before I start cutting out everything. Cutting out all of the elements is a time-consuming process, so make sure that you are comfortable and taking your time. I started by working with the background because that was a little bit easier to cut out, and then I started to work on my elements for the shelves, and I'm using a smaller pair of scissors for the smaller elements to make sure that I get as close to the designs as possible. Now it's time to put this all together, so you're going to see me fold my template along all of the dotted lines. You should have already cut out all of your designs, and I'm going to use a ruler to help me bend all of my folded lines, my dotted lines. I am bending them in both directions to make sure that when it's time to glue everything together, it will be a lot easier to assemble. Before I even think about adding any glue, you will see me test out how this is going to be put together. Everything should come together into this little shelf system where you use the glue tabs and the folded tabs as well as the background to add an extra pop. I started by using a rubber cement, which I did not like the way that held, so I switched over to an Elmer's glue as I was working, and that seemed to do the trick for me. One important step not to skip is to cut out these little rectangles and fold them into the shape of an L. You are going to glue them on the back of each of your objects, and this will allow you to glue them to the shelf so that they stand out and add depth and a 3D element to your shadow box. Before I glue anything into place, I place them around to get an idea of where I want them to sit, and then I count to 15 or even above just to make sure that I have everything held into place before I move on to the next object. You're also seeing me play around with a few of the objects that I do not add in the end, and that's okay. I made more than 3, so I had a few to play around with. Now that I'm done working on my shadow box, I'm going to take a quick video showing off my hard work, and I cannot wait to see what you create with your own shadow boxes, and you'll be taking a video yourself to show off all of your hard work. So enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you back in Google Classroom.